Hello, hello, everyone. Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Nest of Friends. I hope you're all doing as great as you can. Oh, good to see you, Costa. Welcome to the chat. And welcome to YouTube chat. Thank you to our friend Mega Dragon for swinging by and helping an old grandpa like me finally figure out how to do everything they need to do to be as online as they should. I hope everyone's having a good Tuesday. How about that rain? Being in the studio is nice now. I got that East Coast humidity. My hair's feeling great. Hydrate or dihydrate, everybody. Wow, it has been a whirlwind everywhere, especially here at the Narnia Nest West. We have had a lot of stuff in the woodwork that's going to be coming out soon. Plenty of announcements. Let's make sure I've got all of those queued up for us here. But if you're in the chat, let me know how you're doing. I hope you're all excited to draw some more squirrels. Lord knows I am. What do we got going on this month? Oh gosh, do we have a lot. We've got June 6th, June 5th, sorry. June 6th is another special day here for us at Narnia Nest West and Nest of Friends. June 5th, this Thursday, mere few days away, we're going to be doing our Lore Olympus themed figure draw. Join us for Myth and see how you can do with our live model, who is going to be all dolled up like Persephone from the hit webtoon, the #1 webtoon in the world. Yeah, make sure to come get your tickets online. You can get them at the link in the bio for Sketch by Sketch. You can get them on Nest of Friends. And as always, you can get them right here if you scan this QR code on your screen to nestoffriends.org. All these tickets I'm about to drop at you are right there for you to take advantage of in all the fun ways. I do know that our co-creator, Jen Martina, is working real hard on getting our new merch store online. We got plenty of new products for you for Pride this season, including our official Pride fanny pack. That's right. It's our lavender-colored Guys, Gals, and Non-Bind Pals fanny pack so that you can make sure you have everything you need. Should be available tomorrow, but you can just head over to nestoffriends.org and set a reminder and head on over there. Get 1, get 2 for you and your boo. Get 3 or 4 for everyone in store. I know. That's what happens when I try to rhyme. Then, June 14th, actually June 11th, we've got our free drop-in over at Moby's Coffee and Tea. That's at 7 p.m. If you're in the NoHo area and you want to just have a nice excuse to get some late-night caffeine. Hey, Dipsy Doodle, welcome to the chat. If you want to just get some caffeine and do some sketching with us and have a little chill social hour, there's no ticket. Just support the local business. Buy a coffee, buy a matcha, get yourself some iced tea. You would do it anyway. It's just now you're going to do it with people who are going to sit around and draw. I got to think of inspired references to bring for us that night. So tell me in the chat what you think we should draw. Last time I brought my crow and my squirrel. And Lord knows I can draw that just as much as I will tonight. Speaking of drawing, we're going to be doing our first workshop on the 14th of June, right back at Moby's Coffee and Tea. I'm going to be teaching an intro to figure drawing. Going to share all the skills that I have amassed in the last, believe it or not, 10 years. 10 years of hosting figure draws between New York and Los Angeles. I have picked up a thing or 3 that I think is worth sharing. So it's going to be really chill, kind of working from reference, working with a timer, what to do when you're like, oh, I don't know what to do. I've only got 3 minutes. How can I make something that's quote unquote good enough, well, I'm gonna show you what I do, and I'm gonna show you how you can teach yourself how to do things like it, so that you can really build your own path to improving the way you like to draw. So don't think of it as a class. Think of it as a workshop, and it's gonna be a lot more like doing workouts with your drawing than it is just how do I like do this thing to make my portfolio better. I'm not about that. And even though we don't do education historically here at Sketch by Sketch with Nest of Friends, I do want to impart you with some skills that I'd love to share so that you can, find things that work for you. A lot of you in the chat have been telling me that the change up in your grip has really helped out. So I'm happy to see that even that little bit has given you all the permission to try something different so that you can have a better technique for however you draw the way you like to. Then, June 20th, we're going to be doing our Last of Us themed drink and draw. That's going to be at Lawless Brewing Company. It is called Out for Blood. I can tell you, our model, Rachel Singer, I was just chatting with her for a little bit on Instagram when I was doing the pre-show live show. She's definitely excited. That said, if anyone in the chat has a putting iron that they want to lend, we would love to borrow that prop. No spoilers as to why, but if you know, you know. And if you want to help our cosplay model, Rachel, that night, I know she would really appreciate having that. We'll also have another model, one of our other regulars, Carrie, dressed up as a clicker, full regalia. So yeah, make sure to check it out and come say hi and thank you. And then we've still got discounts on our summer season passes. Those are going to be available until July 3rd. So if you haven't gotten them yet and you want to save, even on that, look, I don't want to give this away, but I want you to be there and I want you to make sure you can participate in all the amazing stuff that we have going on. So go to the link in the bio for Sketch by Sketch. Go to the link in the bio for Nest of Friends. Make sure you grab that so that you can have that. It's one pass for 6 shows over the next 3 months. That's what? Do the math. Over 2 hours each times 6. Yeah, that's what? 16 hours? A figure drawing, prepaid for, all for you. So all of that information is available. No, LOL, I don't know. Math kills. Don't do too much math. It's plenty of hours for your calendar. Make sure to get those season passes. Math doesn't exist. It's a fallacy. What is that, math? Everyone in chat. I appreciate you all keeping me honest. 12 hours? Wait. 2 times 6. It's right there. I don't know why. I had 3 and 4 in my head. Disease is a real dyslexia, everyone. And that's definitely a shirt I should make. Speaking of things I need to make, our friends at Geeky Glamorous, Mandy, was kind enough to give me over 4 months to work on this art project. They're doing a game cartridge art exhibit. I've already signed the release. Have I done anything for it in all that time? And is it due in a few days? Yes. So maybe I'll start doing that tonight. But I did promise you we'd do some squirrel drawing. So maybe that's what we should get into. Now that we've got all of those announcements out of the way. Thank you, Mrs. Poops McClure, for keeping me accountable. We still got our vendor application up. If you want to vend for us during the summer season, make sure to, again, all that is in the link in the bio on Instagram. You can head over to nestofriends.org. Oh, I got a fresh, hot update. Look, I told you I'd give you some announcements tonight, so let's get at it. Our podcast, Guest of Friends, we've been toiling away with it. We've been blocking in some interviews. We're going to line up some more interviews coming up. We're going to premiere the middle of this month. I'm hoping June 15th, we're going to get that up on Substack. So if you aren't subscribed to our Substack, make sure you do, because that's where we're going to be offering 16th, June 16th. Make sure to subscribe to our Substack. We'll be launching a paid premium tier so that you can get the full extended podcast, but there will be a free listenable podcast for everyone who wants to partake. It'll be going live on all the places. Guest of Friends. We had music created by one of our lovely co-producers for Jazz and Draw, Libby Ward. Jennifer Martina, our founder and COO, is also doing the vocals for our theme song. So when we get that music, maybe next week, I'll do a little play along and you can hear it for the first time right here on this live stream before it goes live on our Substack. So yeah, Guest of Friends. It's the podcast brought to you by Nest of Friends, and it's all about interviewing creatives, no matter where they are in their journey, about the community that they found and created along the way to today. And I'm really excited about it. It's been a great way to meet and get to know people I haven't known before, and also reconnect with some of my favorite creators and friends near and far. We're going to be working on that a lot. So please, please, please come support it. Our friend Mitra, who is one of the artists in our community, is doing the cover art for it. We've been working on the proofs of it. It's going to be so cool. It's going to be so good. I'm really excited just for the cover art and the theme song. And we've got some amazing guests. I will tell them about our guests. Our first guest on Guest of Friends is director Mark Andrews. That's right. The Oscar-winning director of Brave, who has also worked on The Incredibles, and also John Carpenter from Mars. A lot of my favorite projects. I had a lovely conversation with him. Almost seems like it wasn't, I think it was about a month ago, but I tell you, just editing it and getting the clips out has been really refreshing. You should be seeing some clips for it soon in our socials to get yourselves excited about the kind of conversation that we're having on Guest of Friends. And then our dear friend Lauren Hope Crass, comedian and content creator from New York City, is our next guest on Guest of Friends. And then we're going to be interviewing a lot of our other friends in the area, composers and artists and actors. We've got so many people that we've met on this long 40-year journey that I have lived, that I am really grateful to bring them to your community and also introduce more people to our community. So we've got a lot going on between the store and the podcast and this live stream and our regular events. We're doing everything we can to take over all the corners of every community that we can foster. So as always, do share, do like, do support. Hello, Andy. Good to see you from Toronto. This is the joy of having YouTube chats up. Oh yeah, it is a lot of things, Mega Dragon. I'm already beat and exhausted. You want to do a fantasy ball? Look, I talked to Mrs. Poops McClure about it. I'm not saying no to anything, but boy, is our calendar getting jammed and packed in all the good ways. And I think it's time to maybe do some drawing, unless there's anything I'm forgetting, which I hope I'm not. But it's so good to see everybody here. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today on this Tuesday. I tell you, it has been a roller coaster, rambunctious little week of ours, and I was up until yeah, he said talk to the manager. I did say talk to the manager. Forgive me. I was up pretty late last night doing. I did get a baby gig this month. I'm really grateful for it. My friend Sam Gregory, who has a production company called Sam Hill, is doing a one-day YouTube shoot at the end of this month. And fortunately, they've taken on Jen and I as a production entity to help them do some previs and some prep work. So I was up until about, gosh golly gee, I was up until I think about 3 a.m. doing some storyboarding. Here, I'll show you a little bit. Shh. It's just between us. Don't tell, don't tell Sam, but it's a good way to transition. Look at that. So yeah, I did some boarding last night. These are really sloppy thumbnails. I did them in pencil on paper first, and then I just loosely cleaned these up for her and her producing partner. It's going to be a very chaotic, fun shoot. So if you're in our community out here in the Burbank, NoHo area, you may get a call to come be an extra or a PA on the day we do this. But I don't know how much you can glean from these stills. But yeah, that was what I spent a lot of last night working on. So I'm grateful to get a paycheck doing what I love, drawing. And fortunately, I get to do more of that with you all tonight. Sans paycheck, but do what you love. But yeah, how's everybody doing today? Hopefully, everyone is recuperating from a hard day of work or a long week in between the last stream. I haven't seen my Raven buddy yet since last time. I'm sure that just means he's fully recovered and he's off living the best possible life he can. I hate that this protect alpha button always shows up. Soup for dinner? I've been there. What's the soup tonight? Hopefully something delish. Let's see if my pen is still saved from last time. There it is. Probably go down to a 36. Tootie is mad. Let's do some pressure. We can probably get this down to 24. Do y'all like listening to an artist talk about that? Broccoli, carrot, and sausage? Hearty and fibrous. Speaking of sketch streams, I'm thinking of doing some more live streaming. I've been enjoying Matt Baum's watch-alongs on Sunday. He's been going on a TNT journey. Oh, you like talking about materials and settings? Gosh, golly. Well, I could definitely bore you with tech specs. Given Tootie the beefiest biceps and shoulders a squirrel's ever had. But yeah, I'm thinking of doing a live stream this weekend, perhaps. Schedule provided. But I want to start doing some watch-alongs. I'm thinking of doing a Pool Man watch-along. I don't know if I can do that on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure I could do it on Twitch. If anyone doesn't know, Chris Pine had a really darling movie come out. I want to say last year or two. I don't think it was 25. I think it was a 24 release. But Pool Man featuring Chris Pine. It is his eccentric love letter to Los Angeles without Hollywood. And when I tell you the first time I watched it by myself, I told Jen about it and literally watched it the next day with her, and I enjoyed it just as much, if not more, getting to re-experience it. It's very rare I find a movie that kind of hits all those marks, and it's so good that it makes me want to watch it again almost immediately. You know what? Of all the Chris's to hype up, I'm glad that Chris Pine has really found his lane, because Game recognized Game as far as like mop-headed guys who love wearing overalls. Because yeah, the reason I'm hyping him so much is because I get it. I'm also thinking of doing some watch-alongs for my old web series. I just was revisiting it as I was collecting some material to show somebody. I think it was for the job I'm working on for this film, the short. They were asking for some stuff I've done. It's like, I've got a 10-year-old web series I can show you. and they're like they loved it. And I will say, watching a web series I created at the height of DSLR web series era, 2000 teens, I saw it on YouTube, and I was like, it's been 11 years since I released this episode, and it was something that I didn't realize how much I would appreciate it after all this time. Uh, so maybe I'll share that with y'all, and we can watch it right here on Twitch. Uh, but if you want to, you can go check it out right now. It's called Bill Lowe the Pillow, Lowe. Bill Lowe the Pillow. It was a web series I created. Have a good night, Andy. Thank you for joining us from the east coast of Canada. And thank you for showing me that the YouTube comment section can be read right here in OBS. Thanks again to Mega Dragon for giving me all that help. Oh, yes, and happy Pride, everybody. How could I forget? Thank you again, Andy. Thank you for being a wonderful, wonderful human being. Get all the rest you deserve, and make sure to have some Miss Vicky's all-dressed chips for me when you can. Or Ruffles. I like the Ruffles too. Ruffles all dressed. I like them both. They're different. They're different sensations of all dressed. And yeah, thank you, Mrs. Swoops McClure. Poolman is a really fun movie. So if you want to watch it on your own, it's on Hulu. I just saw it the other day because Hulu was like, "Hey, do you want to watch this again?" And it's like, I do, but I got to finish doing the storyboard. So I think that'll be something fun to do this weekend. We got a lot going on this weekend, so maybe it won't be this weekend between Ren Fair and somebody's birthday coming up. This week is already jam packing. But yeah, we've got our online store, we've got the podcast, this new workshop series, which we're going to be doing bi-monthly in between our jazz and draw. So when we have a jazz and draw, we don't have a workshop. When we have a workshop, we don't have a jazz and draw. Trying to alternate as healthy as we can while we keep developing all this new cool programming. Giving Tootie a nice mallet moment here. That's a little janky, but I don't care. I just want to make some lines right now. I should have done more of this in between the last stream and this one, but I'm just grateful to have any time to draw now, especially for myself. If you're joining us on YouTube, the only thing I can't give you is the music we're listening to, which right now this ASMR lo-fi vibe is kind of dragging me down a bit. What should we do for music right now? Something fun. Something with some pip. This last week, we went to the 300th episode taping of Scam Goddess, featuring the one, the only Lacey Mosley. Her guests were Oscar Montoya, Carl Tart, and Wayne Brady. And it was we were probably in a room of what, like maybe 50 people? And not but inches away from us on the tiniest of stages at Sirius FM were these four. And I got to share my listener story about the time someone tried to scam me, and I got them back with instant karma, and I got a free book for it. Scam Goddess by Lacey Mosley. But even better than that, Lacey Mosley started following me on Instagram. So for those of you who know who she is, feather in my cap. I'm really happy about it. It was really fun. I'm glad we got to do it. Thank you to Jen Martina for getting us tickets. So that was a nice little highlight that happened this week was getting to see a show and then getting one of your favorite podcasters to follow you. There's no three fingers here. This isn't The Simpsons. I hear crows, but I don't hear ravens outside. Oh, Tootie. Tootie does like to smash. No, why would you be jealous? There's nothing to be jealous of. Are you kidding me? I don't think it's Buddy. I think I'm just expecting Buddy. Wasn't the right kind of honk. But maybe he healed. I don't know. I'm not going to ask Jen to come down and check. She'll kill me. She's been trying to get 17 things done today. And there's only so much bandwidth you can ask of your partner when you're trying to do everything else, and you should be. But yeah, we've got so much going on, everybody. I really hope everyone who can make it will make it. Let's angle this a little bit better. You know what? I could do that 90s comic thing where I just have it protrude outside of the panel box. And I don't actually hate that. So what if I did this? Yeah, that's the one. Yeah, I kind of like that. Definitely highlights Tootie's aggro nature. If she's literally bursting through the panel. With her mallet. Yeah, I do think that works. I think we'll keep that. Yeah, that's nice. Soup time. Enjoy lurk mode. Always happy to provide space for lurking. Drawing all these layers. So many layers. Golly gee. I said I was going to do some more music, and I'm still on this lo-fi journey. I got distracted by my Lacey Mosley podcast image. Nah, I won't put you through that playlist. What other playlists do I have? Giggity gow. My daily mix now is all lo-fi because it's the only new music I've listened to in years. All this money I spend for Spotify, and I still listen to the same, like, maybe 40 songs. Yeah, real original, right? What's something fun and peppy? What if I just put on the Shorzy playlist from season one? I don't think you all would like that. What if I just started playing a Margaret Atwood audiobook? Jen, you have made 5 million playlists. I'm trying to pick between one of those. 2,517 million playlists. Here we go. I went straight for the spookiest, witchiest song I could find, just for you. If you are watching on YouTube and you're seeing the little disc up here in the player, and you're like, I don't hear that music. Don't worry, you can join Spotify and follow Sketch by Sketch Tunes, or you can scan the QR code right here and make sure to follow us on Spotify so you can listen along to all of the amazing playlists that our creator and producer extraordinaire Jen Martina has made. I think we've got like 60 some. We've done over 60 events in the last. So it's been a little more, almost we're over 2.5 years now, getting closer to 3, I think. Gosh, the time she has flown. That is a lot. Simply too many. Simply. Just doing my loose lines for Tootie right now. I like how the auto cap keeps calling Tootie 2D. Oh, there. Now it actually did Tootie. I spelt the French way Tutti. Oh, good job, he said to the random auto capture. Thank you again to Mega Dragon for helping Grandpa get his Twitch going. I don't know how many people are lurking off chat, but if you are, don't be afraid to pop in and say hi. Happy Tuesday. I swear I don't bite, but if you want me to, make a donation to Sketch by Sketch or Nest of Friends. Scan the QR code right here. You can get a tax deduction for your donation, given our nonprofit status. That doesn't look like a squirrel's tail. Squirrels got rat tails. So if I just drew a rat tail as a spine, that would tell me what a squirrel tail can do. Yeah, and then what I can do is just add. That's kind of what I just did, isn't it? Add a little bit more taper here. Yeah, that's not bad. I like that. Someone was asking about settings. I like to use even number settings to keep myself track of like the size and scale that I'm drawing with. I also am not afraid to do like real close and uptight like pixelated drawing, because at the end of the day, once I zoom out, you can't see all those little nits and grits in the pixels, but me seeing it allows me to know how much I can shave off when I need to. Makes it a little bit easier to decipher how to take a dull line and make it sharp like that, just with a simple eraser. Sometimes when you're roughing in your lines, it can be really annoying to do that much cleanup. So if you do cleanup as you draw, it can make it a little bit quicker on your process. Now, this cult classic playlist is a banger, but I don't know if it's the vibe I'm going for. That rain really brought in some refreshing, one, humidity, but also it made the sun that came out right after it a lot better. Line art, I mean, there's so many different ways to get better at line art. One, I think when it comes to drawing digitally, don't be afraid to like have like some auto settings that you can work with. For this one, what do I like to use? I like to. Oh, am I not using a stabilizer? That's just for the eraser. So for this pen, if you look up here in the top, which I can't pinch in, I use a window stabilizer versus a line stabilizer. A line stabilizer, here I can show you. So a window stabilizer, you can see kind of gives me a little bit of, you can see the whip of the tail. It just kind of delays the actual pull and the push of the line just enough to like analyze what you're trying to do, and it kind of basically tones down the jitter so that it can follow the speed you work at. Now, the amount of compensation you put in varies depending on the speed that you draw at. Since I tend to be a little analytical, like line by line, I can kind of keep it at like a 15 at most. It really depends on which app you're using. I'm speaking from like Affinity Designer. I know Krita has a pretty good one. Pretty Studio, Eclipse Studio Art, whichever one that one is, has a really good stabilizer in it. But I like the one in Affinity Designer. If you use a rope stabilizer, that's kind of more for like that's really more for kind of like I think freehand sketching. And I actually don't hate the rope. I'm surprised I don't use that one. I guess I go between the two sometimes. So I've been using window a lot, but this rope stabilizer isn't bad. Oh, I see why. So rope stabilizer is good for longer pulls. What is going on with this playlist? It sounds like an A24 soundtrack in here. Excellent work on the playlist. I need some caffeine in my sound. So we're just gonna go to the playlist. We're gonna go to sketch by sketch tunes. Let's see. How about Wrath of the Goddess? There were some bangers in that one. Yeah. Yes, cult classics. You're right, Jen. That was our midsummer one. I should have known. So yeah, so rope stabilizer is good for it's kind of how it sounds. It's a little bit longer on the draw, but it means like quicker movements like circles. It can't really deal with because as a verse as opposed to the window stabilizer which clocks what your pen does. The rope stabilizer is less about the pen and more about the movement. You want Jurassic Park? I'll put up Jurassic Park. Clever Girl. I think I just played that one. This is the Daniel Radcliffe version specifically from Swiss Army Man. That's a movie I've been meaning to watch. I need to watch that one. Maybe we'll watch that one after we watch Pool Man. Gosh, has it already been? It's already been 45 minutes. Wow. What am I gonna do for Tipsy's expression back here on the branch? One, I probably should half the line density because she's further away. Again, going back to people who like tech specs, uh, it's good to know what you start with, and if you can work in even numbers, dividing it up evenly. But we've already learned my math skills are sus after not knowing how hours work. But I started most of the line work at like I think it was 48 pixels dimension, and then I lowered it down to like 36, 24, and now I'm dumbing it down to 12. Oh, I hear someone crunching on a nut outside. Tootie's coming off. Tipsy's coming off a little chunkier than I want her to, so I'm trying to thin her out and make her look more like herself. Yeah, that's better. Her head might need to shrink a bit, so let's work on that. Yeah, that's better. Yeah, definitely a more panicked look from this far. That really plays. I like that. Tell them a Tipsy and Tootie story. Gosh, what's a good Tipsy and Tootie story? Well, I'm pretty sure I've told everyone about the Tipsy heist. What's a good Tootie story? Well, Tootie. Okay. So, Tootie. Let me turn down the music just so you can hear this a little bit better. So, Tootie was a very aggro. Oh, I think that was my microphone. Sorry. So, Tootie is a very aggro squirrel. To this day, I'm sure she is a very aggro squirrel. Um, she Here, I'll just come back to the main for a second. Tootie, Tootie was. We'll see. Now I'm enjoying this playlist too much. So Tootie was very territorial, and she had no problem fighting any squirrel or any bird that would encroach on her feeding territory. And her feeding territory was basically the window to our apartment because that's where we would put all the almonds and walnuts and peanuts. When Tootie was pregnant with her kids, Sprocket, Graham, and Petunia, she hated it. I can't think of a single person who would give you an like, honest review of pregnancy that wasn't below 2 stars. I mean, look, children are great, not coming down on motherhood, but, you know, when you grow a parasite inside your body and it feeds on your life force for 9 months to a squirrel's instance, I think gestation is 4 to 8. No, it's like 8 weeks, 8 or 12 weeks. It's 2 to 3 months, I think, twice a year. And for them, it's a hormonal response to the seasons. Now, Tootie was pregnant and she hated every second of it. Tipsy never, at least in our time, was never pregnant, but she would be very vocal during mating season about having all of these feelings that she just hated. So sometimes Tipsy would just hang out on our roof during mating season and she would just scream and bark because her hormones were like, you need to have a baby, and all these boy squirrels would be coming around, but Tipsy wanted nothing to do with it. She couldn't stand it. She enjoyed being single. She enjoyed not being weighed down by the responsibility of rearing children. And Tootie quickly learned being pregnant was not all it was caught up to be. Now, during this time, Tootie, we had just met her, so this was her first spring with us, and we had just been giving them peanuts for a few months at this point. And we were trying to do research because we were learning about the squirrels and like what it... This is such a good song. Queen Latifah of all people. So Tootie... So there's two things going on. One, Tootie is pregnant. And two, she's only been getting peanuts. Well, apparently peanuts have this slightly intoxicating effect for squirrels. I love this. I love how I was going like, I need music with pep, to now I need music that doesn't distract me from the story. The struggles of a live stream. Sorry, Al. So we've been feeding them peanuts for a few months. We just learned giving squirrels peanuts isn't great because one, it makes them drunk. And two, it's a softer shell, and squirrels' teeth are constantly growing throughout the entire life. Their front incisors are growing. Which is why if you ever look at a tree where you know squirrels live and you see those little nodules that start to like grow, it looks like a branch that just got fat and never long. That's because squirrels are gnawing on trees because their teeth are growing and they need something to like shave down those teeth a little bit. So we were reading that giving them shells in hard nuts is the perfect thing for them. So we had gotten like a variety pack with walnuts, almonds, and hazelnuts. Hazelnuts are extremely hard for even a squirrel to get open. For whatever reason, Tipsy loved the hazelnuts. I come to find out it's because Tootie hated them. So Tootie is now pregnant, drunk on peanuts, and here we are. This is probably towards the tail end, no pun, like a day or two before she ended up giving birth to Sprocket, Graham, and Petunia. And Jen and I are giving her all of these other nuts, and she doesn't want anything to do with it. Every time we put out nuts, she only takes the peanuts. So we're like, Tootie, you need to try something else. One, you go through peanuts so fast and it's expensive. We need you to try these alternatives, and it'll be better for your teeth. Well, it was probably wrong of us to do this for her in the middle of being a few days away from childbirth. So we go out to our tree Cressida and we try to give Tootie these hazelnuts, almonds, and walnuts for the first time. And when I tell you, she threw such a fit. I've never seen a wild animal. I've seen plenty of domesticated animals have a tantrum, but I've never seen a wild animal be so indignant and vehemently upset with us. She would be at the top of the tree with the nut we gave her, protesting and just looking at us with such indignation. And that went on for a good hour of her just throwing a tantrum, running back and forth up the tree, just panicking and being so mad that she wasn't getting peanuts, which in hindsight was probably the only good thing she had going on in that moment, because she was probably in labor and we did not realize it. So the morning passes us. I'm doing laundry later that day. There's another tree in our backyard. So there's the house, and then the front yard, there's Cressida, and then in the backyard where we have basically a chicken coop that has our laundry in it. Literally, it has a washer and dryer in its own little tiny shed. If you've ever hung out at our place, I'll show it to you because it's outside. So I'm outside doing laundry. There's a tree right behind the laundry machine. And I hear the thud, thud, thud of Tootie, because she, one, is a very thick squirrel even when she's not pregnant. And because she's so aggro, she's always stomping everywhere she goes. So stomp, stomp, stomp. I hear her jump into the tree, and I hear the leaves rustle. And I assume she caught herself. No, because a fraction of a second later, right behind me, I hear a thud like a sack of pennies and a sock hit the dirt. And I look behind me and it's Tootie. She full on body slammed the grass from 2 stories up. Now, whether or not she was in the throes of labor and she missed the branch she was catching, or she was pregnant for the first time in her life and she didn't know what it was like to have something trying to crawl out of her, and she literally, fully pregnant, was trying to stop her belly from making all those sensations. So in her squirrel brain, what does she do? Body slams right into the grass right behind me. Scares the ever-loving shit out of me in that process. And I'm looking at her and I'm like, Tootie, what the fuck are you doing? And she was fine. She immediately scampered off to go, I'm assuming, give birth to this litter of squirrels. Now, look, we met the 3 siblings. Maybe there was more. We'll never know. That's the dark tragedy of this moment. But of the 3 squirrels, Graham, the boy, he was my sweet boy, because Petunia always kept her distance. Sprocket was naturally curious. She had no problem getting to know me and Jen and coming up to the window. And she's been with us the longest since Tootie moved out of the tree. She's been with us and had, this is, I think, her second litter of kits with Bunny and oh gosh, Jen, you told me the name of the other one and I've already forgotten it. It's Bunny and, shout at me in the chat, Jen. Shorty, because Shorty has a shorter tail. And then Peanut and Butters were her children from the fall. So Shorty and Bunny came to us this spring. I forgot my train of thought. Oh, so from the body slam incident from Tootie, I am convinced that Graham, who always kept a distance by hanging out in the yard, every time I would throw him a nut, it would land right in front of him, and he couldn't see it to save his life. He could see it if you threw it in the yard and he was further away, which tells me he's farsighted which I believe means you can see things from afar. If it's the opposite, I'm sorry for all my friends, my guys, gals, non pals, and nesties who wear glasses. But with it, if it landed right in front of him, it would take him the longest time to find the nut. He would eventually get it, but it also made me feel so bad because every time I would see him struggle to find this nut, my mind immediately would flash back to the body slamming tantrum incident from when his mother was pregnant with him and his siblings. And it makes me believe that he took the brunt of that impact from that body slam. The more likelihood is if there was something that did cushion that fall for Tootie, that might be a sibling we never met because they probably never survived. I know I didn't mean to get dark, but also I would joke that Graham needed glasses because he was such a sweet boy, but he always had such a hard time finding the nut, even when God, more than a couple of times I would throw a nut trying to land as close as possible to him, but in reality it would end up hitting him in the head, and then he would just look around like, where'd it go? Where'd it go? My poor Graham. I hope he's living and thriving to this day. Let's get back to drawing some squirrels. But yeah, that's my iconic Tootie story, for me at least. Comic Graham better have glasses. He will. He will. When we get to that point in the saga, we're just meeting the sisters before mating season in our story. I think I should have Tipsy's tail be really expressive right now, so I think it needs to be like a giant exclamation point. I haven't even drawn these squirrels in their uniforms yet. I'm just getting their body positions in here. Here, let's have 2D break some panels. But yeah, I hope everyone's got some fun plans for this week. We're celebrating Jen's birthday. It's going to be a ghost seance themed birthday, so everyone's coming as their favorite ghost. I'm going to be going as my favorite ghost, Alice Roosevelt, Teddy Roosevelt's first daughter. If you don't know who Alice Roosevelt is, do your history search a favor. Go to Wikipedia. It's probably the best Wikipedia page you'll ever skim through. I guarantee you, there's not a line of that Wikipedia page that will not impress you about this person. If you thought Teddy was a myth, Alice is a fucking legend, and Teddy wishes. And in the future, we'll definitely be doing some Alice Roosevelt content. So if you don't follow us already, make sure you do. Here, I'll put some music back up. Oh, here's a good playlist. I didn't get to experience this one because this is one of the few times the only time I had to work during a drink and draw. Here we go. This is from our Phenomenal event. Inspired by the one and the only Chapel Roan. Chapel Room, you wish. Leaves are hard, so I'm not going to spend the rest of this stream drawing leaves. Save that for my leaf drawing workshop. If you've been to any of our live events and you know there's members of our community just sitting at home on a Tuesday night, feel free to give them a text and tell them to pop into the chat. I know Celine is currently promoting the process of getting their book published, and I'm sure Allison is somewhere making some chaotic crafts. I hope our friend Sarah's roommate is moving in because I know they're excited to have them in town. But yeah, this is a nice rough in for all of this. Now I can take away my original sketch. And we've got a pretty good first pass on these pages right now. So I think now I'm just going to merge all these layers. So I still got those separate elements because it made a duplicate for some reason, which I'm not mad about. I'm a big fan of multiple layers. So I've got this template. It's just one layer. This gives me a little bit more page to balance now. And now I can go back. But like, Sketch, you just drew all this. It's like, I know, but now I can go back and I can really draw it the way I want to. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about if we do a watch along. And also, I'll take suggestions on anything we do want to watch. It might be a little repetitive to draw this much, but for me, it helps me be able to break down different layers. So, like, have your rough sketch, kind of rebalance it with a rough digital sketch, which maybe is just like the essential gestures, the shape language, rediscover what you need to do when you're using that tool. And then when you build up your confidence, then you can make a whole other layer where you can really indulge in it. I think this is appropriate for the girls. Squirrels just want to have fun. If you ever hear a squirrel in the tree when they're talking to each other, it sounds a lot like little little pig oinks. So sometimes I call them tree piggies. It sounds a little derogatory sometimes, but when you hear them, that's just the first thing that comes to my mind. I don't know if you guys like the workshops here on Twitch, but if you do, I can bring them back next week as well. Having done hair and hands and clothing, I'm totally down to do some more. Maybe we do anatomy. Maybe we do composition, something a little bit more instructive. Or maybe you just like watching me draw squirrels. New t shirt, Tree Piggies. Add it to the list. I'll put it on our printful tonight. Now, someone was asking about how to make lines prettier or struggling with lines. I think the best way to work with lines is to know when to overdraw so that way you can go back and cut and sculpt with your eraser. Sometimes we get a little caught up in drafting the perfect line that when we don't hit the exact line that we see in our head, we think we have to redraw it until it's perfect. And the truth is, sometimes if you draw it a little thicker and you just know that you're going to go back and carve it later, you can actually surprise yourself and make an even better line. So don't be afraid to maybe do a little more. That's why it's good to know, for me, the diameter of the pixels I'm drawing with, because if I double it up, I know I can make a line twice as thick as what I'm doing with. So if I start with like a 12 point pixel, and then I double it up to 24, it takes me less effort to make the line thicker when I know I'm like doing a line that's on the underside of lighting. But also, if I do an even lighter touch, sometimes I get that happy medium between when I'm making a thinner line that I know will look smoother after I carve it with my eraser. So another thing to experiment with when you do your warm-ups. And I didn't do them today, so I'm sorry. I didn't mean to deprive anyone of warm-ups. I like this version of Chappell Roan's song. Is this a cover or just a remix? This is her. Triple J Leica version. Oh, this is from Leica version? Or is this an actual cover? Oh, so the artist is Chloe with an X. And it's their. Is that right? Yeah. And this is their from Leica version. Oh, I like it. It's fun. What a fun version. Tootie's tail kind of looks like a tongue. I'll add some texture to fix that later. Muna. I do like Muna. They're fun. It's also just a fun name to say. Muna! See, now that I'm perfecting my layout, what I can do is I can make each of these panels their own layer. And that way I can recompose the page later. So basically each panel is going to be its own picture. I probably should do some research. Let's look up a fantasy tavern. Just pulling it up on my phone right here. Hey, phone. Let's see what I can do real quick here. Let's take a minute and transition. Hey, everybody. Blocking my own camera. Okay. Fantasy Tavern. Thanks everybody for joining us here on Twitch and on YouTube. Fantasy Tavern. Okay, that helps. Medieval styles. Yeah. Okay, so definitely a higher pitch to the roof. Some Tudor style wood features. We can do that. I'm basically designing the tavern to fit into this panel because this branch is going to be a hero location. Here, let me come back. This branch is going to be a hero location, so we're going to come back to it often. So since this is the first frame I'm starting with, I'm kind of committing to a design that works for this frame that I then have to make sure fits for future frames. Sometimes you can work yourself into a corner that way. Sometimes people don't notice when you redesign things later. So, we're just going to have fun. Having my phone up here is good because it gives me something to look up to. Drawing smoke and particle effects is a lot of fun. It's like hair, but less. If you know, you know. What are we gonna call this tavern? I mean, the girls don't know because they don't read or speak the language. But let me know in the chat what you would call this tavern. It's definitely run by a lady, so it's a woman-owned business. In my heart, I want the woman to be a tiefling, just because I love drawing tieflings. Because who doesn't? Uh, and maybe we need to make that backstory for future issues. So something to think about in the chat. Bright Eyes and Bushy Tails. That's the name of the tavern? It's like a tavern and an inn, I guess. So Bright Eyes would be the tavern and Bushy Tails would be the inn, maybe? I'm not against it. Okay. Well, you're here. Bright Eyes and Bushy Tails. You know what? Well, how about this? What if it was what if it was owned by two tavern keeps, a tiefling named Bright, So it could be Bright's Eye, and maybe she had a partner named Bush. So it could be Bright's Eye and Bush's Tail. You are the loudest in the room, so you win. I won't stop you. I won't deny you that logic, Mega Dragon. Uh, Mega Dragon, what's your sign? Because you give me Aries a lot. And maybe that's just me being an Aries projecting, but tell me what your sign is. Yeah, Bright's Eye and Bush's Tail. All caps, haha. Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah, Bright's Eye and Bush's Tail. I like it. Somebody update the World Anvil based on this campaign. Capricorn. Oh, Cancer, Capricorn, Leo. Fascinating. I am seeing the Leo fire, that's for sure. You're definitely burning bright there, especially if you're rising. Here, dig this. Um, Aries Sun, Aquarius Moon, Aries Rising. Or as I like to call it, yeah. So each line, I could spell, like, what's the fancy way to spell Bush with like a C and an E? So it'd be Busche, Boucher, Boucher's tail. So again, knowing those line thicknesses, I like to do thinner lines for the background and thicker lines the closer you get to the foreground. So Boucher it is. You got it. And also from the exterior lines, when I go to add the detail lines, I make those even thinner based on how little I'm pressing. All right. Bright's Eye and Bush's Tail. That's the name of this tavern. It's a little long, but I don't hate it. You know, we can probably make this a little bit better. Gosh, it's already 7:30. Wow. Well, I could clearly stay here and draw this tavern forever. But that's really nice. I like the way that got broken down. So we take this away. Look at that. I might even need to make the foreground a little bit bigger. But that's such a nice establishing shot. Maybe this is where we put our copy. How do you draw an ampersand? That's how you draw an ampersand. Well, I don't think my buddy Buddy is going to swing by today. Maybe last week was the last time. There's no apostrophe in nuts. Do a little fancy fleur-de-lis. Oh, thanks. Thanks for spelling that correctly, autocorrect. Oh, another cover. This was fun. You guys had so much fun that night. Who did this cover? Sakatoon Network. Is this ska? This is ska. Anything you can do, they do ska. Skatoon Network. Yeah, it would be. What a specific genre. Ska. We do it on a piece of parchment because that's how you know it's fantasy, if it's on a piece of parchment. Oh, is this the metal cover? Oh, I love this. This is Lauren Babick. If you don't know her, give her a follow. Oh, dude, that sucks. I'm sorry. You got to get that floss out. Get that water pick. Uh, Apparently, you need to get in there, bud. Look at that. We got ourselves a little title card. That's just rough until I finally decide how I want it to be. Honestly, it probably should go up here. So there's something fun about when I plug my phone in to do the prompting and my iPad in. It says the time is 9:41 a.m. So whenever I look at this clock, I'm like, how is it 9? And why does it say a.m.? And then I look up at my computer and it's still 7:39. Wow, we've been here for so long, everybody. Well, I'm grateful for everybody who showed up today in the chat, and especially to our friend Mega Dragon for giving us a hand getting the chat updated during the rain today. We even heard a little bit of thunder and saw some lightning, something I've definitely missed from the East Coast. Wow. Small joys. What should we call the Howls event? Okay, group, if you're there in the chat, and this includes my lurkers, we got 20 minutes left. Let's take a poll. What should we call our Howls Moving Castle event coming up this summer? Any takers? We're gonna have two models that night. One of them, two of them, they're both going to be making their sketch by sketch debut. Let me know what you know. Mega Dragon. Think long and hard. But the first one to give us an answer wins. You're bad at this? Calcifer's Cuties? I actually don't hate that. Calcifer's Cuties. I think Poops McClure likes that one. Something stars related or Calcifer. Got it. Calcifer is lit. Oh, wait. What do you got? I mean, Calcifer is lit. That's just fun to say. That's a shirt. I like your spark. Oh, yeah. Isn't that in the movie? I think that works. Poops McClure, what do you think? That is a quote. Good. I'm glad I have the validation. Clearly, I need to absorb more lore. I like I like it, but I might just shorten it to Spark and just put a giant picture of Calcifer. I mean, look, who says Calcifer won't be there? I definitely need to make Tipsy look thinner because I think I've got two very thick sisters right here. Taylor, how did you get here? There we go. But then people might think that it's drawing Calcifer. Yeah, well, maybe people want to come draw Calcifer. You want to auction off a Calcifer? We could maybe raffle it off. I don't know how much you think it would go for, but we could definitely raffle one off if you're offering one to be raffled. I mean, Jen just wants one. The effed up one. Okay. I don't know how it's effed up. But it sounds like Poops McClure would just want it. So it's effed up. What's effed up about it? Did it get into a knife fight? Was it born with like a weird birthmark? Which, that's never effed up. That's just, a thing that happens. It's not right, man. It's not good. Okay? What's wrong with it? Like heavy stitching, one of the eyes bigger than the other, one of them lopsided. Look, if you look at my face long enough, you'll see that one of my eyes is lopsided. It's true. I have to tilt my head just to feel like I'm normal. Yeah, one of them's higher than the other. I think it's this one that's higher than the other one. Yeah, we still love him. I mean, I'm still loved. And I'm effed up. That's a life note. No matter how effed up you are, you're still loved. You're sending me a picture. Is that what I just got texted it did? This is a video. Okay. Yeah. What's effed up about it? Okay, I saw two with eyes and one that just looks like a burning lump. Which, I mean, they all look cute. You did a great job. Yes, a video is a lot of pictures. Wait, I think I can show this. Let me see. Oh, I can. Here, what happens if I do this? Yeah. So wait, I'm going to play this. I'm actually going to play this video. So let's see what happens. Transition. So look. We got this one. Pretty cute.
Oh, look, a strawberry.
Yeah.
Oh, look,
Even
a
cuter.
strawberry.
And then that guy? Does he not have eyes? Is that the fucked up one? Give it away. I'm sorry I gave it away. I'm the worst. You're dying? Don't die. I guess I killed Mega Dragon. You're laughing so hard? I'm glad. I'm glad I could give you that joy. Gosh, we got 10 minutes left. Well, hey everybody. I'm grateful for all this time we spent together tonight. We definitely did a good amount of work. I'm grateful for Mega Dragon for giving us all these options and for helping me build out the lore a little bit tonight for uh, for the tavern. Bright's Eye and Bush's Tail is the name of the tavern, which I think is a great name for a tavern about two squirrels trying to steal some nuts in this D&D fantasy world we're building. I think what I should do is probably do a lot more work before the next stream, so that way we're not spending week after week drawing panel by panel. I've got a few more drawing projects to work on. I've got these boards. I've got two prompts from our previous two podcast guests. Uh, One of them I'm super excited by. Both of them I'm super excited by for completely different reasons. And then, yeah, I think next time we bring back D&D's Nuts, we'll have a lot more to show. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. And for those who are lurking on YouTube and on Twitch, thank you all for joining us on these journeys. We're going to be coming back here every Tuesday, 6 p.m. I'm thinking this weekend, I'm going to try to see if I can do the watch along with Pool Man. You're going to raid out? What's a raid out? What's that? You're talking to Grandpa about how Twitch works here. You have a suggestion. Go ahead. What's your suggestion? I'll see if I can even understand it. Don't you? For those who are listening on the VOD, clearly this music is what's been playing on the live stream when you watch us on Twitch. Do a raid at Weed Warden Writer. I don't even know what a raid is. Why are you asking me to do these things? I'm amazed I've been able to do this much. Thanks to your help, Mega Dragon. Tell Grandpa what a raid is. You've said it before. It sends us to a different Twitch channel. So if I just type raid at them, and then they will shout you out and people will follow you. Should I have done that earlier? Is that a thing I do right now? I'm learning. I do this at the end. So I do this right now? Is that what you're saying? So all I do is what? Type that? Do I type that into the chat? All right. So I'm going to type that in. Let's see what happens. Type that into chat. So I got to type in so I just type backslash raid at the make sure I'm even typing this right. That's 3 E's. The Edwardian writer. No spaces. Yeah. I'm typing it, but I'm also checking to make sure. Okay, so if I just hit this, unrecognized command. Yeah, I just did it. Darn it. What does that mean? Aren't you a moderator? Can you do it? Do at raid browser. Okay. And then spacebar type. And then in the search bar. Okay. Unrecognized command again. Now look, I just did that on my iPad. Is that a thing? Maybe I should. Can I do it here in OBS? Here, let's try it here. Okay. I think I found it. Okay, the Edwardian writer. All right, let's see what happens. Do it in OBS. Okay, I'm doing it in OBS. Let's see what happens. Chat. Unrecognized command, raid the Edwardian writer. And then click start raid. It just said unrecognized command. Let's see. Send viewers to another channel when your stream ends. Find someone to raid. Okay. Now it sent me to a raid channel. Edwardian Writer. See, I have such a tiny window now in my OBS. Gotta make everything better. Okay, I think we can start this raid. Let's see what happens. Starting raid. Three viewers ready to raid. All right, let's go say hi. Raid now. We're going. What do I do when we're in the raid? Do we just scream raid and scream at the top of my lungs? Oh, well, that's nice. Well, hey, thanks, Mega Dragon. I'll make sure to give them a follow, too. I'll give them a follow right now. Oh, did we help them make their following goal? That was sweet. I'm glad we could do that. Well, that was fun. And that's how one Twitch becomes another Twitch. You're stuck in mod view? Well, now that we've helped Mega Dragon get stuck in mod view on a raid, which I wish I knew what that meant. I'm sure everyone can hear this other Twitch in my feed right now. Awesome. Well, that was fun. Thanks, Mega Dragon, for getting us some more Meow Meow Beans on Twitch, whatever that means. Definitely looks like a fun Twitch we just raided. Hopefully some of those folks come and show up, if that's what that means. Now, how do I get out of this Twitch channel? Because now my raid channel is stuck in what would be my Twitch chat channel. I'm not mad. I just wasn't sure. And look at that. It's 8:01. And I'm grateful to all of you for being here. Thank you for joining us for another Nest of Friends draw along. I'm going to get back to work on perfecting our all the stuff we've got going on here at Nest of Friends. If you are joining us from that raid, thank you for helping us grow along the way. I'll be back here next Tuesday for our regularly scheduled draw along at 6 p.m. Pacific. But, keep an eye on your alerts for when I do the watch along. I'm going to be doing a watch along to Pool Man featuring Chris Pine, one of my favorite movies to come out in the longest of times. If you don't know who we are, you can follow us here at this QR code at nestofriends.org to see all of our live events coming up here. Yeah, thank you for helping us grow and figure this all out. Thank you to Mega Dragon for all their help today. Thank you for to Poops McClure. And thank you to everyone who's checking out this Edwardian Writers Twitch. And I'll see you all next week, if not sooner, when we do the watch along. In the meantime, enjoy this music for a couple of minutes, and I'll see you guys, gals, and non-buying pals on the flippy dip.